Jessica Schloemp, technically Dr. Jessica Schloemp. Got my doctorate in strategic leadership with a concentration in coaching and consulting. And I know that I'm starting a podcast and really putting out there that I'm known as the real Dr. J. I used to play basketball, Division I basketball at Youngstown State. And so my heart's definitely still with basketball, but I'm super passionate about leadership and just launched my new business, Revive and Rise Consulting, concentrating in really human-centered leadership and helping grow individuals and corporations around culture, around just building people and teams, and being very intentional with that. And then also releasing my book, The Leader Within Her, September 23rd.
Diversified Game. Learn how to start, run, and sustain your business.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, and this might just be for the clickbait for the algorithm, but yeah, I have Dr. J on, and so if any other Dr. J's, because I had one on a few months ago, right? And I don't want any smoke from any family, but you guys can settle it all on the basketball court. Man, we'll then see. But Dr. J is going to give us the game on how she has gotten to this point of helping leaders out there, helping companies, businesses. So welcome to the show, Dr. J. How you doing?
How are you? And I just want to tell you, Kellen, it's the real Dr. J.
The real. So even more smoke for the people. Okay, I got you. Let me ask before everybody hears basketball, so they assume that you're tall. How tall are you? So in case the other Dr. J say, "Oh no, I don't want any smoke with that."
Yeah, I'm 6'1.5".
Okay, not too tall, not too tall, but I mean tall, but not not 6'7" or anything like that.
No, I own the house though, so I always wanted to be tall. My dad's 6'5", and so before I understood genetics, I would pray that I would be at least 6 foot, and here we are, 6'1.5".
Gotcha. Well, and you're also young, so sometimes people will see you and they'll say, "Oh, wait, an athlete, but you did get your doctorate." Can you tell us, the journey, and did you always know you wanted to do this? And I want to know, does the MBA, did the doctorate degree, how does it help you? Because we're in a time right now with AI where people are like, should I go to school? Should I keep going to school? Give us the game and some steps that got you here.
Yeah, so I can tell you, you ask any of my friends from high school and college, I'm sure they don't even believe that I have a doctorate. It was not a focus of mine. I wanted to play basketball. My best friend actually said my last name's Schloemp, and I would go by that. I'm sure other athletes go by their last name, but she said, Schloemp, you're getting a degree. And I just wanted to do general studies. And so my undergrad was actually communications and marketing. And so I did pick a degree. But as I got older, I realized the difference between success and satisfaction. And it was really important to me to be satisfied with myself internally. So whether that is spiritually, financially, physically, emotionally, mentally. And so really I took that path to what did I really want to achieve? What did I really want to leave behind in my legacy and my name? And so I went and got my master's in business administration. And then about 3 or 4 years ago, I graduated with my doctorate in strategic leadership. And so for anyone that's really figuring out or deciding if they want to go to school, do it for you and only you. I didn't go back to school for my career. I didn't go back to school for a said job or a specific title. I went back to school because I wanted to do it. I wanted to prove to myself, and some people listening might be like, that's a really a way to do it. But it's something that I just personally wanted to achieve for myself. I do not feel it's really done anything for my career, honestly. but it was something that I wanted to achieve for myself.
You've tried it your way and you're still in debt? Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter and grow faster? 𝐿X.AI gives you step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming, start planning. Visit 𝐿X.AI today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
And you did it, would you say fairly quick? Because we have somebody trying to, still get approval for their ideas and their concepts, whether they're doing their thesis or their dissertation in all levels. Like, what was it something that you felt like, oh, I breezed through it? And would you recommend a certain program? Some others, because people get stuck in like that doctorate for like 8 years sometimes.
Yeah. So I definitely did, but I know me personally, like I've taken and that's a lot around my book too, just in regards to my experiences, is The Leader Within Her, is really about my experiences and what I've done and how I've done it. But I know me personally, like I've spent a lot of time with myself and self-reflecting and very self-aware, that I knew that if I took a break, I would not finish. So I went and got my master's. It took me about 3 years. And so then I took a break from my master's to my doctorate. So I owned a house at the time. So what I did was I actually ended up selling my house and paying off my master's degree. And so I really did the same thing with my doctorate. So I told myself once I paid off my master's, I could go back and get my doctorate. So paid off my master's, and then I went back and got my doctorate. What was really cool at the time is that I also had another house and I sold it and paid off my doctorate. And so we were in the time of COVID. And so I really didn't pay any interest on my doctorate degree either, because I paid it off so fast. So I really used my assets to pay for other assets, because if you're investing in yourself, that's an asset. It's something that you're investing in yourself. So it might not necessarily be monetary, and it actually costs money to invest in yourself, but I was able to then use my investments through my home to then pay off my student loans as well.
Can you give even more detail? Because I know it was always a dream of mine that I said, oh, after college, I'll buy the house, then I'll do this with the house, and we'll flip the house and we'll pay this off. And it didn't end up like that. I think I ended up having at least 2 homes, and I was like, man, the student loan during COVID, it has to go, right? But can you, because people think like when you're in college, the college is there, hey, you guys are going to get these degrees and there's these jobs waiting for you. Here you are as an athlete. And let the people know too, because NIL deals, might have been around and maybe you became a millionaire in college. But give the how you did that. How did you get these homes and where did you get them? So maybe somebody can maybe follow that blueprint, because you can't do that in California or New York.
True. I was in the good old state of Ohio. Good old Midwestern. So I honestly, I didn't have any money. I worked for everything that I've had. There was definitely no handouts. My family didn't come from family, wasn't born into that. And so you have to start small. I think that you have to be practical in it. Unfortunately, I am older probably than I look too. So I'm 39 years old. So I bought my first condo at 25. And it was $90,000. It was just as much as renting. And I feel like if you can get into a place to buy a home where it's not going to be any more than rent. I mean, I know currently now I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is more pricey. So a 2-bedroom apartment, $2,200. And so you can truly buy a home for that mortgage. I know my mortgage right now, I have a 3-bedroom home, 2 bath, plus like a separate kind of like in-law suite. And I'm paying $2,400. And so I think that you have to kind of weigh the pros and the cons. So I know people are probably like, well, I don't have a down payment. There are loans out there. And again, I'm not in mortgage insurance or mortgage lender, but you can find where you're only putting 3% down and still having it be affordable. So you have to really trial and error, and you might not get your dream home for your first home, but understand that if you are investing in yourself and you're buying a home, you're getting your return for your money. So I started small. I bought a condo, then sold it, and then bought a home, and then sold it, and then bought another home and sold it and bought another home. So you have to really understand that as the market goes up, your investment in your property is also going up too. So sooner or later, you'll be able to buy your dream home. But I definitely say start and start investing in yourself so you can get and reap the rewards of when those markets do go crazy, such as during COVID.
What helped you as an entrepreneur? 'Cause you said your doctorate, you're like, I did that for myself. It didn't necessarily help in business.
Yeah.
What got you to where you can go to corporations, go to entrepreneurs and say, I can help you? And, because it usually, the Edelman, I'm thinking Edelman, Wagner, and what's the other one? The top consultants. I'm thinking PR companies right now. But there's those top consultant companies that come in, they got 100 offices around the world. How did you prove to people I can help solve your problems, especially if you didn't come from money? Because they're like, well, how do you know you can handle this, $1 million, $10 million budget, and you know what I'm going through? What were those steps to get you there?
Yeah. So, and I think that's the thing, right? Is it's practical experience. Even going back to school, right? Not only do I have my doctorate and now I wrote a book around leadership, I have the practical experience. Currently, I am the director of operations here at a financial institution called Financial Independence Group. And I lead a team of operations specialists. There's a team of 35 of them, actually. And I can tell you the distress that they were under. They didn't have a direct leader for over a year. And my leader, the COO, saw something in me, and they actually recruited me from a previous role. And I can say, like, I'm the exception to the rule when it comes to careers because everything's really aligned, I would say, with the past 3 positions that I've held. They've reached out to me. So my last company, I was happy, I was satisfied, but then their recruiter here at FIG reached out to me and took a chance on me and said, hey, you know what, just take an interview, see if you all have some things in common. Maybe y'all can help each other in their career. You're all in the same industry. And then I had the interview and I really liked what I saw. I loved the culture, which we can talk more about because it's something that I'm super passionate about. I feel like is extremely over talked about, but I don't feel like people have a grasp and understanding around what true culture is. And so I love the fact of the collaboration, being able to walk into the CEO's office and have a conversation with them, and loved how I felt like my ideas were going to be taken and considered and implemented. And so that's really what's happened. And that's really where I came out with the true team method. So I really coined the true team method. It's all about transparency, relatability, understanding, and empathy. And that's really where I focused my leadership on, is being able to reset the foundation, scale, and then build. And that's what we have done here. I can tell you that the turnover has decreased substantially. I think that the engagement is extremely high, the collaboration, them understanding their impact of what they're doing on a daily basis is huge. And then also just the input, or I should say the output, what's being accomplished every single day has increased as well. And so not only do we have a team of extremely and highly engaged people that understand their impact, but the output and what they're producing and the efficiencies that are created has risen substantially.
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt. Or maybe you're doing okay but want to invest smarter, grow faster. 𝐿𝐼 gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit 𝐿𝐼x.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
And with that, can you explain like some of the day to day and talk about that culture that you wanted to talk about? Because the day to day, like, are you coming in and like the happiness officer and making sure everyone's happy and cheerful and, not gossiping too much? Because a lot of times, especially in places like Seattle, you go into an office and people don't even have to greet each other, which is weird. It's weird. It's like nobody says hi here. And that's just the culture. So what do you do to help that culture and bring that method and tell us that method? And you can tell them how they can hire that method if it's for hire, because I don't want people bothering you and saying, hey, can you give it to me for free 99? No, there's a fee 99 for that.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great question. So, it really started from resetting the foundation. So I got everyone's input. I think one thing in regards to sometimes, depending on the consultants that companies are hiring, is it's like, well, we have this extra money in our budget. So let's do this leadership course or this leadership training. And it's one and done. There's no follow up. There's no continuous improvement. There's no, buy-in. It's just, hey, we have this budget. Let's use it so we don't lose it. And then there's no real true investment or impact being made. So I see that happen a lot in companies where they're willing to invest that one time, but then not continuous training or learnings with it. And I think that does their team a disservice. Also, I think that we have to get away from leader as a title. It's not. I've seen so often where the wrong people are getting promoted, the wrong people are in said roles, the wrong people are getting promoted and don't even want to be people leaders. They don't even want to provide ideas. They just want to have what I call a job. And so there's a lot of things that I think businesses are just putting their money into and or their efforts into the wrong people. So I would definitely recommend is when you are working with a leadership consultant or even just a consultant, understanding those differences and understanding like where you are as a company. I think that if you're not willing to invest in your people, you're not able to then invest in your ultimate customer. So we have to remember that the reason why we get up every day is because our people are there. So we really have to invest in them. So when I came in here to this company, I reset the foundation. I literally talked to every single person on our team. And let me tell you, there is, a misconception or even stigmatism around women, whether it's we're bitchy, we're bossy, or if we're too opinionated, or it's catty and gossipy, right? I could tell you I've seen teams with men that are more gossipy and dramatic than women of teams. So I lead a team of 35 amazing women of all backgrounds. So I think that when you're hiring, I can tell you, I don't even look at resumes. I want to know who the person is. And I think you do that only by interviewing them. So I know that our HR team obviously, sifts through resumes, but I don't even look at the resume when we're hiring. So I want to know how I feel and how that person makes me feel when we meet for an interview. And so that's really how I hire as well. So reset the foundation. I met with everybody. When I'm bringing people on, I'm making sure that they're going to be a good cultural fit. So that critical thinking, problem solving, thinking 2 steps ahead, someone that wants to collaborate and engage, someone that understands that they want to have an impact in what they're doing, and how they can really bring to our team. I don't think that teams need to be stagnant. where you just settle for what is. Instead, like, let's continue to grow and expand that, right? So that's the ultimate goal, is like, once you reset the foundation, you figure out what's truly happening, figuring out how people are truly feeling, implementing said things. So we implemented a few different programs. One's called Office Vibe, where they can actually share anonymously, where they're letting us know how we're doing, how they're feeling, not only with me as a leader, but within the team and then within the company. And then another thing that we implemented is called Bonusly. So they can actually exchange points. Everyone's assigned points for the month, and they can assign points to one another for a good job, a well done, and really provide those shout outs within the team as well. So that's been super fun to see. And then also being able to scale. So as I alluded to, like the efficiencies. So one thing that we have is we have like a homegrown CRM. So we don't use Salesforce, or nothing wrong with that, but we actually have something that's built for us in our company. I think that's super important. If companies can really invest in that, because then you can get buy-in from your team that actually use it and start implementing change immediately within their day-to-day workflows. And so our team collaborates constantly about the day-to-day and how to be more efficient and how to offer better to our advisors and our clients, and really being able to advocate for themselves and what they need and being able to implement it. So that's another takeaway too, is you can't have a culture where you're asking for feedback and you're wanting to change or growth, and then you're getting it and then not applying it. So I can't tell you time and time again, I've been in corporate America where, Jess, we want to hear your voice. Jess, we want to know what's going on. We want to hear from you. And being completely shunned after providing that input. And I think that that is so discouraging. I became a shell of a person, and I really wanted to change the game. I really wanted to invest in people. I wanted to help people. And it really became a passion and a purpose and larger than life. And so when you are asking those questions, making sure you're being intentional as a leader and or as a company, and actually taking that into consideration, whether you can't do it right now, funding, or it's not the right time, or there's different initiatives, that's fine. But transparency, state that now is not the time, but that's a great idea, and let's keep it on the drawing board. Or ask deeper questions, how to then implement it, to make sure that the team is receiving that impact, and that their voice is not only being heard, but actions being taken to put their ideas into reality. And then lastly is building. So building as in efficiencies, so allowing them to actually have more work, but creating efficient ideas through that. And it's not always building it with people, right? So our goal here is, how can we have an average caseload? We do life, annuity, and long-term care. And my team processes all the business from start to finish. So as soon as an application's submitted, they're the ones scrubbing it, calling out to the carriers, critically thinking, problem solving through all the issues, thinking 2 steps ahead, not reaching out to an advisor if something's not needed, right? Advocating for them. And so our goal is, all right, on average, you're comfortable around 150 cases. How can we get you to 250? Right? So we do not want to build out headcount. We want to build out our technology. We want to build out APIs. We were working with DTCC in regards to like data feeds and being able to exchange data in real time. So we're really trying to figure out, how can our amazing people do more, but with more, right? So that's another thing. You cannot expect people to do more with less. They do more with more. So again, that's also investing in your people in regards to technology and support. So those are really the key 3 key structures that we've implemented here at Financial Independence Group, and it's gone great.
Are you a successful entrepreneur or one in training? You've got the vision, but do you have the right partner to build your brand, your team, and your future online and off? At CPRfirm.com, we offer expert consulting, financial guidance, and life coaching because we believe in doing life with our clients. After all, what is it for a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Founded by 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 Coleman, we help our clients not only succeed but plan to retire rich. Your business deserves the best. Start building your legacy today at CPRfirm.com.
I love it. And I already have heard some of the clips that are gonna go out on the social. You know, you can't do more with less. And clip that over and over. But you had brought me back, like even personally, because I remember getting a praise from a president at Synology in Bellevue, Washington. And none of these people are here now, so I can talk about them. But getting praise and everybody else getting chastised after CES. I can tell you who wasn't there the next week. They found a way, the whole department, you know, and I know what it was. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. People are scared to talk. And so even when they talk anonymously and they send you something, you sometimes know who that is. Oh, that sounds like Janice. Like that's the thing that Janice just said, you know, to everyone. How do you still protect that person and make them confident that, yeah, everyone's going to know it's you who's complaining about the same thing that you've been complaining about? Because how do you keep that person protected and not get done like me, where everybody starts attacking them, saying, hey, this is like the guy, like it's Survivor or something?
And that's a great question, but I'm going to put it back on you because is that role, is that company really for you? Right? Like if you're already feeling that way and you already feel like you can't be honest, you can't be open, you can't share, even if it is quote unquote anonymous, but with you having a loud voice, with you speaking your mind, with you putting yourself out there and really truly sharing and trying to catapult your career, and they're not investing in you, is that company really for you? Is that culture really for you? So I think that's something that, especially these new people coming in, I know we've had interns and they're like, oh my gosh, like these are things I haven't considered. And it's all about culture. It's how do you feel on Sunday night when you know you have to go to work on Monday? Is it dreadful? Is it, gosh, I hope I don't see this person? Is it, I hope I don't have a meeting with this person? Is it these feelings of negativity, or is it neutral or even positive, right? Like, are you excited to see these people? Are you excited to do what you do? Do you want to make an impact? First, what you just said in regards to how do you protect those people? I protect those people to ask them if that is the right company that they should be with.
Okay. Okay. Well, no, it makes sense. And I guess it then goes to like, because nobody ever offered to go to lunch unless we were going to like a business lunch, right? Everyone else, you come in as the new person, but Seattle is just an area of the freeze and it's real. So I worked with a couple of tech companies short time. And I think the most friendly place was the place where they had the whiskey on tap, the wine on tap. I was over there cleaning server rooms and making sure that stuff was together. And I asked everyone and they're like, oh, we're all PhDs, so there's no way we want to be here any longer than we have to. But, you know, it's comfortable. But they were the friendliest. But Seattle just has that cold area. And that's how I knew I need to get out of there as quick as possible. But, you know, you said something else, though, about points. And then it brought me back to like Black Mirror Nosedive episode. I believe that's season 3, episode 1, for those of you who haven't seen it, and that you get points. So can you also not get enough points to participate and you're the, you know, lonely person out with no points and maybe can't go to work, knocking on the door saying, help me, help me?
I don't think it's that. I could tell you one thing that we incorporated. So if people can give individual shout outs, but we also do agent surveys. So at the end of a case being placed in force, an agent has the ability to do agent surveys. Well, we have a score of like, I think the average is like 4.97 out of 5 stars. And so every week, whenever we receive a 5 out of 5 stars for our team, I provide points to the whole team. And so you can't really run out, or you can't really be shunned for not getting points, but it's those little things of people going above and beyond. I know that everyone on our team receives points throughout the month, not only from me, but then also team members when they're out on PTO. A huge thing for me is we have a very, very um, we have a lot of PTO within our company. Like our team accrues it every paycheck. And I mean, a lot of times at the end of the year, I'm like, people are losing PTO, even if you can roll it over. So I'm a huge component of people taking their PTO in their personal time. And so our team covers those people when they take their PTO. So tons of people give points to the whole team when they also come back from PTO. And so that's really cool to see because they're willing to help out their team. They're willing to cover their team and support their team during the whole entire PTO process.
You're giving me ideas. For one of our clients, they have a team of 30 people, and we hire and fire everybody who comes on or if they have to leave. And point systems, they'd want it in cash because we're paying like 7 different countries at a time. But yeah, you're making me think. But with that,
They actually can cash out their points. So they can cash out their points. So a lot of our team, they hold all their points throughout the year and then they cash them out, and then that's how they buy their Christmas presents. You can do like gifts or like different items, gift cards, whatever it may be. So it's not necessarily monetary like money, but they can get things from it.
oh man, I would try to win. To me, everything's like a competition, so I would try to win. Like I'm a good person from the odd ones out. You're trying to get points and hoping that you'll get something back. What is, in talking about giving back, what is, whether it's personally or at work, whatever, besides giving points that you had talked about to the whole team, what's a community give back that you're doing or one that you would like to do in the future? And how can the community help you accomplish that?
Yeah. In regards to me or in regards to our company or both?
You both, either one. You can pick whichever one. Feel free, whatever it hits your heart.
I can say company because we just did this. We actually have a whole volunteer organization. Our business support takes on 4 to 5 different organizations within the community. The one recently that we just did was a backpack build. And so I think they said it was like over 5,400 backpacks were made for all the kids within the surrounding areas. So the less fortunate kids that don't have backpacks and or school supplies, we were able to all come together as a company and build out backpacks for these kids. And I love kids. I think that teachers need to be paid more, kind of like doctors, right? So these teachers are the ones that are building our society and the future of our world. And I just feel like there needs to be so much more investment in our school systems and our teachers and even in our students. So I guess it goes back to me personally is I would love to be able to create like a volunteer organization or even volunteer at these, whether it is schools, high schools, and or universities to teach them more about leadership and finance. I think that there's such a huge discrepancy between, what you learn at home versus what you learn at school. And the majority of the time, it never connects in regards to finances. Whether it is credit cards, investments, even so, we spent a whole segment on houses and buying homes and the investment to pay for another investment. none of these things are really being communicated or talked about. And I think it's the foundation of what needs to be honestly talked about in schools. It's the real life stuff. It's the things that need to be implemented to make sure that our society, our country is successful financially. I'm so tired of, like, and not that this is political, but the one percenters staying one percenters. Like, let's create more of those one percenters. And the only way we can do it is through education and understanding. I can tell you right now, if I was not in this industry, I would not know anything about finances and or how to make more out of my money. And we really need to start teaching that.
Well, you said a lot. Yes, teachers need to be paid more. And you know what sucks about teachers' pay is if you're a parent or a business or an organization, they can even take your money in the public schools if you wanted to give them a tip or something. It's just like, and they need more. And we can pay somebody to dunk a basketball or go on YouTube or TikTok to do something, you know. And, but we have no money for the people who are spending time with the kids. That is, yeah. When you run for office, let that be a talking point. Um, yeah, because on either side, and we work with politicians all the time because we do government contracting, and you know, it's just the same thing. It's the same thing. It's a long, drawn out process. I'm a George Carlin and a Dave Ramsey fan. So if you guys can put that together and are old enough to remember, you know, George Carlin, you would know that we get the politics that we deserve. But with the financial stuff with the country, what are you seeing that the mistakes people are making? What does the country need to say? You know what? We need to get into blank, because being a Dave Ramsey fan, they are spending money like Congress, and Congress is spending money just because they can print more.
Yeah, so I mean, I can only shed light into the little circle that I have, right? I don't have a large circle at this, but I can tell you in regards to even still like financial plans. But what we work with is annuities, life insurance, and long-term care. I know Dave Ramsey thinks that life insurance is not needed, but I really
Term. He likes term. Yeah, it is.
Sorry. So, yeah, correct me, kind of. Sorry. So I think that regardless of what you have, there's so many more investment opportunities out there, and you have to really look at your full portfolio. So it's not just annuity, life insurance, long-term care. It's all of the other stock options. You have to consider your home, like all these different investments that you can really be bringing in, and also looking at your financial situation of when you want to retire, or if you ever want to retire, right? It's not your current situation right now. It's the situation that you want in the future. So it's not the here and now. So one example, my brother, and I know they're going to kill me watching this, but my brother, he is a breadwinner. They have 2 little kids. They have a really nice home. They are in debt, and he doesn't have life insurance. And he doesn't, not that he doesn't necessarily believes it. I think that he just is like, I don't really need to spend that money on a month or annually to pay for it. But if something were to happen to him, what's going to happen to his children? What's going to happen to his home and his children, right? Completely shook. Not only would they lose their father and the husband, but then also financial burdens, right? And so that's just a here and now situation that I'm trying to get my brother to see and understand. Because I think we live in a world, and I can tell you I was this way in my early 20s. Invincible. We're never going to die. We're fine. Nothing's ever going to happen to me. And I think like that's society and how people view themselves, their family, their world. And time again, I see where families are shook and not prepared. And the other situation that I'm currently seeing, or seeing in the last few years, is annuities. Their interest rates were sky high. They're still pretty high, but not as high. Where they're guaranteed 7-8%. You're not, yeah, go put your money in a CD. Like, you're not seeing those percentages anywhere else. And I told my grandparents, they're retired, they're in their 80s, and they still have a 401k, and they haven't really invested that money into other things and or guaranteed products where they're gonna be getting more for their money. Like that's the ultimate goal, right? Like let our money make money. Well, their financial planner didn't say anything about annuities, so I gave a little plug to annuities. Like now's the time. Like you really need to look into this, and they didn't. And I can't do anything other than pay. I lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, that whole saying. So I told them it's all you can do. But I really do feel like if you're not in the industry, you're not knowledgeable because no one else is talking about it, especially if you do not have people in your family or household that's talking about that or getting you wise or hip to finances. It's not sexy. It's not fun. No one wants to think about dying, but it's a reality and it's needed.
Hello everyone, come along with London and Sydney as they show you around the vibrant country of Cameroon. We explore the heart of Africa through the eyes of London and Sydney. Two explorers who journey across the great city of Yaoundé, exploring its rich culture, vibrant market squares, cultural heritage and wildlife. With giggles and excitement, London and Sydney Explore Cameroon takes you on a fun-filled adventure, providing insight into the country's culture and traditions through the pages of this book. It's packed with exciting stories and super cool facts about Cameroon that will make you go, wow. Get your copy now. Available on Amazon and in libraries near you. There's only one easy way to experience the exploration of Cameroon, and it's through London and Sydney. Don't wait, get yours.
But it can be sexy when someone does pass. And my mother passed, and I had, both my biological parents are gone. But the one thing that is great is that you don't have to have a fish fry dinner, a fundraiser to bury someone or cremate them. And that you can give your siblings and say, this is yours, this is yours, this is yours. Do what you want, and break that down. It's nice to have things organized. When we look at the numbers, the majority of the country is not ready to die. They are not ready or prepared to retire. You said you can't make a horse drink, but can we shoot it? Maybe with like a salt gun? Like where are you seeing what are you seeing as a solution? And I love that you shared your brother's personal story and your elder's personal story, but do you see anything working? Do people have to go through it and see someone suffer and die? Or is there something we can say or show them, maybe you have in your book or your podcast coming up, and we want to know where to get both of those. How do we get our people to wake up?
So I think there's 2 points, and you made a huge point. I'm sorry for the loss of your parents, but that's a huge point, right? My grandfather had a stroke and was needed LTC for 8 years. The average LTC claims 4 years. And guess what? I know people aren't very statistically inclined or don't really want to know or talk about it, but at least 70% of people that are over the age of 60 are going to need LTC, are going to need long-term care at some point, which is a huge statistic. And especially thinking of baby boomers, all retiring, all aging up, all going to be leaving financial, hopefully preparedness for their families, but burdens if they're not prepared. So it's one, situations happen, you get wised up, whether it's good or bad, and you realize the importance of it, and you change your path, you change your journey, you set your family up for success. Second is that education piece, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, is because that education's lacking. So whether you have someone in your household that's a financial planner or an advisor or more knowledgeable about financial literacy, like they're knowing about that. Or like friends of families, or it has to be talked about, it has to be communicated. And I'm telling you right now, someone would rather go watch a dog do a backflip than learn about financial literacy. And that's the sad truth of our country right now, is the TikToks, the Instagrams, everything's at our fingertips, and it's for fun, it's for pleasure, it's for laughs. It's not for realistic issues and situations that occur.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, my mind was going somewhere because when you said that these are things we talk about often. Yeah, yeah, we talk about often, and I'm like, only if like, and I hate to be crude, but I was like, are we gonna have to put like, the most shocking stuff and put the medicine in the food? I mean, I've had guys who say, we could go to AVN and have some of the adult actresses do this financial stuff, and I'm like, if we got to do that, it's time for me to leave the country because if we got to dumb it down to the point where we got to go there, we got bigger issues and I don't want to be here anymore. But yeah, your book, tell us about the book and tell us about the podcast. What are the solutions and the maybe roadmap that you're going to be showing in both of those?
Yeah, so it's not really, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not really financially driven. It's very leadership driven. And I know that it's broken up into different sections, but it's really about my experience, where I've been, what I've seen. It really hits home to the female movement, female leadership, being able to rise above, get more out of life if that's what you're looking for, and really offering up different ways to do that. I don't want to give the whole book away, but it's broken up into 5 different sections, and it's very easy to read. So it is like 350 pages, which is a very long book, but it's broken up into smaller chapters, smaller sections, and then also tons of great, useful information on how to implement, how to correct, how to grow, how to change, and how to really leave a legacy. And so it's really going to push towards that. And super, super excited. I really put my whole heart and soul into this. It stemmed again from getting my doctorate because that's really what I did for my dissertation. I'm super passionate about women in leadership, and being able to get into the C-suite if they want to become an executive, and different steps to allow themselves to get there. But it is very generic in regards to like the leadership concepts. It's very science based, psychologically driven, neuro driven. And so there's a lot of research based information in there if people are more inclined to read it. If it is research based, there's tons of information in there around that too. But my, my editor was going to kill me with how many citations there were. But it's backed by not only, again, experience, lived, seen, but then also research. So I'm very, very excited for this next chapter for me in regards to the book. My company, you can go out to Revive and Rise Consulting, and get free tools and material there. But then also my podcast is set to launch before the end of the year as well, and still very leadership focused, very driven on growth and inspiration, and hopefully capturing new people that want to learn, people that aren't just looking for dogs doing backflips.
and and can they get the book on the website? And when will the podcast release? Let them know so they won't just be Googling saying, I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find it. Because you also have another book on Amazon that I know you've co-wrote with others. So I want to make sure they get the right one.
Yes. So, yeah, the Financial Trendsetters too, I was a co-author with. That was really cool. It talks about the foundation, the scaling, and the building of such in regards to the operation structure for leadership that I've done. But the Leader Within Her will launch live, all avenues. It'll be paper, hard, and then audio. And so really whatever platform you really want to use, it'll be there. September 23rd. You can get it on Amazon, probably be the easiest. You will be able to get it through my website, reviveandriseconsulting.com as well. My podcast, once it's up and running, I don't have a time frame for you. Sorry, Kellen. But it will also be on there on my website. And so I'm also not a sneak peek, but I'm going to start putting out some sneak peeks on my website and on my social. I have Instagram at Jessica Schloemp. And then also I'm on LinkedIn, where I will start doing some sneak peeks about the cover, and also some material that's in the book too. So everyone needs to stay tuned there. But really the goal, we're going to do, I think it's, let me look, September, drum roll. We're going to do September 8th is going to be the launch for bestseller. So we're going to do a special 99 cents for an ebook. So that's to come as well. So super excited for that.
Well, you guys have got enough to put on your calendars for September to say, okay, it's, and you can look in the description as well, and you can see the Revive and Rise Consulting.com website and check out everything. What do you want to leave the people? And also let the folks know before they, reach out too quickly. You have prices on your website, but if those prices, in case those are old prices, I just want people to know, because I don't want them bothering me saying, Kellen, how much you think it is for me to bother her? And, also let them know if you're single too, because I got some creeps on here that seem to harass the guest, and I'm talking about you, and I know who you are. Yeah. So, give us any last words.
Too funny. Well, I'll give 3 points because my favorite number is 3. So, one, invest in yourself. No one else will. So I think that whether that's monetary, you have to take a chance on yourself. You have to follow your gut. That's all in one. It's not 3 different ones. So you have to be willing to do that. I know that I decided to take a chance on myself in January, and I co-wrote a book. I'm publishing a book. I started my company. I'm doing a pod. So I'm doing all these things to invest in myself, and it really just takes off. Secondly, you can't do it alone. If anyone says that they became successful alone, they are the exception to the rule. So don't take that advice. You need people in your corner. I talk about it in my book of board of directors. I have a board of directors that support me, that I trust, that I'm willing to take their advice, that they've been through it with me. They understand me. They understand the direction I'm going. And you need those people, and you need to find it. I also have different ways to find it and questions to ask yourself to find your board of directors. Lastly, have fun. Life is way too short. I've seen it too often where people are dying early. And I know that it might be morbid, but have fun through the process. Appreciate it. It's quality over quantity, right? So have a quality life, and just have fun. And I'm not single. I'm so sorry. I am married. I'm pregnant right now with our second. So super excited. I'm doing January. All the big things. Thank you.
Congrats. And I'm glad you shared. I'm so happy you shared that, because that makes the only a couple of y'all, that makes y'all run when you say, oh no, I don't want responsibility. That's too much, How am I going to bring her home and we share my father's couch at 45 years old? Oh yeah, I know who you guys are. I want to ask one more question, because you had mentioned something about not looking at resumes. So does that mean you're relying on AI, or do you just accept everyone? Because I know with the team that we get, if we put out a email about a job, we have 500 emails in 48 hours. So how do you pick who you come talk to?
Yeah, so I'll be honest, our HR team's wonderful. They're the ones kind of sifting it out. I can tell you that they know I don't really care about your experience. I don't really care. I think companies need to give people a chance. I know I've been very blessed in regards to my career path. Like I said, I am the exception to the rule. I haven't applied for a job in 15 years and has had 3. So definitely the exception to the rule there. But I do feel like this whole AI is amazing, but it's also not. We have so much technology that are actually weeding out amazing candidates that would be a great cultural fit, people that are driven, motivated, want to excel, want a career, want to grow. And we're just basing it alone off of a piece of paper that maybe doesn't have the right words in it. And so I think that real people need to touch resumes. And I know that in order to scale, It's more expensive, but to get true talent, to invest in real people, you need real people to look at that piece of paper, to have a conversation with them. So our HR team's phenomenal. They're the ones that vet out the people. But when they come to my desk, I'm trusting Molly, I'm trusting Lord and Meredith, and you know what? I will interview anyone that they bring to the table.
You guys have got it. So you got a blueprint, you got a plan. You also have heard about a company that maybe you're interested in applying to. Right now, I know a lot of people are filling out jobs 100 at a time. God bless you. It's only probably going to get worse before it gets better. But let this be a shining light. It can happen. You got to have skills to pay the bills. You got to put in the work, the time, be confident, be prayerful. You guys, make sure you like, share this game with somebody. It will change their life. Be blessed.
Are you tired of the rat race in America? Are you ready to visit the motherland to relax and rejuvenate? Are you ready to explore all that Africa has to offer? Then check out the brand new Diversified Game Academy course, Prepare for My First Trip to Africa. Are you worried about being able to afford the trip? We got you. We will show you how to travel either on a budget or as a baller. Learn how to stress the value of the USD. Did you know that 100 United States dollars is worth over 1,000 South African rand, or 10,000 Kenyan shillings, or 54,250 West African CFA? Are you worried about taking your kids? Get the game from 𝐾𝐨𝐴, a bona fide world traveler, having traveled to almost 20 countries, several of those in Africa. Get the game on taking your kids on their first trips. Learn how to find the best tickets, get the visas, and plan your own adventures in Africa. Don't let Eddie Murphy have all the fun. Plan your own coming to Africa trip starring you, produced by you, and featuring you. If you are ready for a life-changing experience, sign up for our course today, Diversified Game Academy. Get prepared and purchase at diversifiedgame.com.